Hello and welcome back to Boxing Social in association with Betfred. My name is Ayman Khan. It is a pleasure to be joined by my former world champion, Jessie Magdaleno, to preview his return to the ring this weekend. First of all, Jessie, how's life treating you?
Life is great. I can't complain. We had our rough patches, these past couple of years with staying out of the ring and not being active. But now that we're back, I feel great. And, life's been going pretty smooth again.
Fantastic to hear. It's always good to hear that you're back and ready to do what you love doing best. But let's get to that. The time out in the ring that you've time away from the ring, sorry, that you've had. In your own words, sum up as to why you've had that absence from the ring.
I had a bad team around me. I had a really bad team that just wasn't doing much for me. I had a manager that literally would put me in the ring whenever he felt like it. He wasn't keeping me active like how I should have been active. And, he was throwing a lot of salt at me, just telling everybody that I wasn't disciplined, telling people that the work ethic, that I didn't want to be champion, that I didn't want this, when this is all I eat, sleep, and dream about, is being a world champion, being, a fighter, and trying to get to the best and get the best fights, that I possibly can. And now that he's out of the way, and now that I'm out of the contract with him, it's I got a new team behind me. I got Kevin Berry behind me, Taylor Berry behind me. I have Hector, which is my manager. He runs Furco Boxing, and I have Memo Heredia on my team, and they're all great people. They're all doing their job fantastically, and I'm just very happy to be a part of them. And I know for sure they're happy to be a part of my team too. And now that I have all those other bad people out of the way, I got to fight right away, and I'm looking forward to Saturday.
Let's get to your new team. Sticking with the training side, friend of Boxing Social, Kevin Barry, is now in the corner guiding you hopefully to success. How did that link up come about?
Actually, his son reached out to me. But I've known them for a while. I've seen them plenty of times in their gym, sparred a couple of guys that they've had, and I know I left a good mark when I was in there. And me and the son always kept in touch. And once he seen that I parted my ways with Jorge Capetillo, he reached out to me right away. And he's like, "Hey, I would love for you to come and check out the gym, and tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you feel about the training." He's like, no pressure, just whenever you're ready, come on in. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to come back to boxing after everything that I went through, with the whole manager thing and fights. I was really giving up on the sport. And I just was like, you know what, screw it. Let me try it. Went in there and fell in love with the sport all over again. And
in terms of the time that you've had now to kind of work and meld and gel together, do you feel you've been able to kind of adapt to that, the new training that you've been doing? And what's the kind of things that you've been learning and working on most with the new team?
All I can say is that the Berries, they've done a tremendous ready, getting me well prepared for this fight. They didn't change my style too much. They just added their little tweaks to it. And they see me fight, they see me spar, and they just wanted me to work a little bit better on my footwork, work a little bit better behind the jab, and, really sit down on my punches a lot more. And that's exactly what we've been doing. They just tweaked little things that they felt that I needed to improve on. And they really didn't switch my style up too much, but their advice, their every step of the way, leading to this fight has been great. First, we had an opponent that was a right-hander, and then they switched into a southpaw, and they were on top of it, and they did their part. They told me that I was their first lefty, and just growing with them, leading to this fight is it's been great.
In reading some quotes that you've given surrounding your comeback, you sound like a fighter who's, and speaking to you now, really motivated to get back onto the scene. Is that fire that you might have once been a little bit doused back again then, Jessie?
Most definitely. In training, I'm happy to go to the gym every day. I'm happy to see, my teammates, see my coaches, work alongside with them. It's really, it really has helped me, from going into a dark place to being, not fighting to now fighting and being hungry again. Like I told my coaches, I feel that fire again. Like when I was getting ready to fight for the world title, for my first pro debut fight again, that I have that hunger again, and I'm just mostly excited about everything. Just returning back and hearing the crowd and feeling the punches. That's what I'm really happy about.
Well, you've got your fight this weekend. Before we get to the fight specifically, some fighters, when I ask them this question, they have different thoughts about it. And it's the idea of ring rust, Jesse. Do you believe ring rust is a thing, and could it play a factor this weekend?
I think ring rust is very much a thing. And hopefully, no, I don't go through it through this fight. I been and training, and everything has been, falling into place like I was supposed to. And I feel very confident with myself, and I know the performance Saturday is going to be, great, because what we worked on, what we've done, and how hard I've been training. But ring rust is a real thing. It does happen. I've had a couple of sparring sessions where I came home very, very upset with myself because I didn't perform the way I wanted to. I couldn't get off like how I wanted to. I couldn't let my hands go, and the footwork, and it felt like everything was off, like, when the Wi-Fi goes off your phone, it doesn't act quick like I was supposed to, and doesn't respond like I was supposed to. I had a couple of sparring sessions like that, but once Kevin and Taylor talked to me and we adapted those small little tweaks, everything worked perfectly fine.
Eddie Mercado is the opponent that you've got this weekend. We've seen a bit of him on our shows over in the UK. We saw him fight Thomas Patrick Ward. He's a capable fighter. He scored a knockdown against Ward as well too. Is this a type of fighter where you've studied tape on him, or are you just doing what you do best?
No, I study tape on all my fighters. On all my fighters, I study tape. There's no easy opponent, especially for, it's anything could happen. There's been a lot of upsets this month, a lot of upsets, and in the sport, anything is possible. That's why you got to be 100% ready. You got to make sure you're trained very well, you're trained very hard, and most definitely have the confidence and, the mental ability to be in there.
You've captured a world title before, albeit a different weight, but how far do you think you are on this comeback trail away from getting another world title opportunity? Do you see it being something that's soon, or something that's going to take some time to get to?
I would like it to be soon, but I think in the next 2 to 3 fights we'll find out. After this, we get this victory Saturday night. I believe we'll have one more warm-up fight, and then who knows, maybe have fight, or we'll take another fight, in the 12 rounds to be a contender for, the world title fight. So, but I'm not rushing it. I'm gonna take my time. I don't want to rush this. I want to, plan it out right and make sure it comes like how it's supposed to. But if it comes early, hey, I'm all for it. I don't duck, or I'm not scared of nobody. I just want to, show everybody what I'm really about.
In terms of your comeback campaign, then, Jesse, I note that this fight's at super feather, but I've seen some quotes saying that you're looking to maybe campaign at feather. What's the plan for you in terms of your route, in terms of where you'd want to have your fights at, which way?
126. I think that's where I'm really going to be, the most dominant, the most, where I'm going to be at my best is at 126. Right now we took the super feather fight just because, it's the first fight back. I didn't know how the training to the weight loss, and we took it quite easy on this one with that. But I'm going to be campaigning at 126. Yeah, there's a lot of good guys at that weight class that, I feel like I could beat, and I could give them a hell of a fight, and I also give the fans, a great fight with each and every one of them. I have Emmanuel Navarrete, who I think I could most definitely beat. You have Mag Masayo, who's, the boogeyman right now, and he's, beating everybody. And you have the IBF champion as well. And, I feel like I belong with all those guys up there. And, after these next couple fights, I'm going to show it each and every one of them.
Let's stick with just the British interest first of all. IBF champion being Josh Warrington, who won that back recently, and then you also have Lee Wood, who's going to be fighting Santa Cruz soon. Well, the fight's been ordered. Just sticking on Josh Warrington first of all, what do you make of him as a fighter?
Oh, he's a great fighter. You know, he's a warrior. I know his last fight he suffered I believe a broken jaw,
Yeah.
and he's a hell of a fighter to come back after getting beat by Kiko Martinez and coming back and displaying his fight and knocking him out and doing what he has to do. He's a hell of a fighter, and I don't take nothing away from him. He's a champion for a reason.
And then the fight that's been ordered by the WBA, Santa Cruz versus Wood, a bit of doubt that that fight might happen, or if it does happen or not, considering Santa Cruz is the weight that's been campaigned at. Maybe he might not come back down to the weight, but if the fight does happen, how do you see that going?
I think that's a great fight. You know, I thought it was a great fight between him and Mick Collin. You know,
Yeah.
Mick Collin was beating him all the way until he got beat. And Mick's a really good friend of mine, and yeah, he has power in his hands. He has a beautiful right hand, and like I said, there's not much to take from him. He can be beat though, and I think with him and Santa Cruz, it'll be a hell of a firefight because they both throw tremendous punches. They throw a lot of punches, are high volume punchers, and that'll be a good fight to see.
Let's bring this back to you then. With the timeout that you've had, and with it being your comeback return to the ring, do you feel any sense of pressure that you have to perform and do something to kind of put your name back out there, or do you not kind of have those thoughts in your mind?
No, I don't have those thoughts in my mind. I go in there and I do, what Jessie Magdaleno does. I'm a firefighter. I come out there, I throw a lot of punches as well. I have pop in both hands, and I have good footwork. And I'm just gonna go in there and do what I do best, and that's show everybody that I could do it all. I could box, I could bang, and and I could win fights. I've showed it with Nonito Donaire. I've showed it with well, pretty much all the fighters that I fought with, and I think once I go in there, yeah, I'm a veteran now, and I know what it's like to be in there and what it feels like. So I don't have any like no doubts in myself that Saturday I'm just gonna do what I do and show everybody who I am.
Be remiss to ask. I was gonna close it, but you just reminded me about with the name drop of Donaire. I've got to get your thoughts on the rematch Inoue versus Donaire. Brilliant fight first time round. Rematch, we get to see it again. How do you see that one going?
It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be another fire packed fight. I think Donaire actually pulls this one off this time just because of the activity he's been in. Lately he's been on a roll. He's been on a roll. He's been knocking everybody out again, and I think he really found himself at 118 pounds where he's gonna really sweep up that division. And I think I feel like Inoue hasn't fought in a while because I haven't really heard his name around. And I think the inactivity of him, that's where it's going to play the factor for Donaire to pull off the win.
Putting your neck on the line. You mentioned there've been a lot of upsets recently. That would be a big one there, Jessie, if that does happen. And you'll be the one I'll be coming to say you said it first if it does happen. Let's bring this back to you then. This weekend, you told me you do what you do best. That's what's going to happen. But tell me what does happen. How do you get your hand raised at the weekend?
This weekend, most definitely always looking for the knockout. I'm always gonna put the heavy power shots and make sure that see how their reaction is, and then it's either I go for the kill or I break them down each and every round. But as far as this fight, I would love to get the knockout.
And you just gotta tell me again what you said before the interview started. You got the hat at the top that your son gave you. So what?
Yeah, my son gave me this hat. It says "Game Over." He got it when he was on vacation. And he came back and he's like, "Hey, Dad, I got you this hat." And I seen it. I was like, "Ooh, game over." I was like, "Oh, I like that." And he goes, "Yeah, but it's for when you come back into boxing." He's like, "It's game over for everybody." And I told him, I said, "Yes, sir. That's what it's about. It's game over for everybody because now, the real king is coming back."
Jessie, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much for giving me your time up to Boxing Social and myself. I wish you all the best at the weekend and looking forward to seeing you back in the ring.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate your time.